Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
The legacy of the Murdaughs stretch very far in South Carolina. Behind these gates lie deadly secrets. Secrets only Alec Murdaugh himself know. On June 7th, 2021, Alec Murdaugh hatched a deadly secret, plotting against his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul. But what brought us to this point starts with Mallory Beach. Mallory Beach was killed in a boating accident by Paul Murdaugh, Alec Murdaugh's son, and it was going to trial, and Alec was about to pony up financial records. Those financial records were going to uncover a financial scheme hatched by none other than Alec Murdaugh himself. Right before going to court over the boating accident, Alec Murdaugh's wife, Maggie, and son, Paul, were brutally executed at the dog kennels at their home in Low Country, South Carolina, the property known as Moselle. Shortly after the murder of his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul, he had a foiled suicide plot at a local church nearby. Alec had a friend try to shoot him in the head region, which again failed, and he went to the hospital where it was a superficial wound, leaving everybody to believe this was a foiled suicide attempt to garner sympathy from the community. This foiled attempt was captured on camera at the local church. Alec Murdaugh received 2 life sentences for the death and murder of his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul. After Alec's double homicide conviction of his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul, he has since set his eyes on the clerk of Colton County, Becky Hill. Becky Hill is now come under fire for putting her hands on the scales of justice in an effort to get Alec Murdaugh convicted. Alec Murdaugh's defense team state that Becky Hill put her hands on the scales of justice in an effort to get money for a book deal. Alec Murdaugh has a hearing for a motion for new trial coming up on January 29th. This hearing details how Alec Murdaugh believes Becky Hill, the clerk of Colton County, put her hands on the scales of justice in an effort to get a guilty verdict from the jury. The judge in the matter stated that she will be willing to hear from the jurors and Becky Hill only at the most recent status conference hearing. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories channel as we prepare to go to this hearing to find out whether Alec Murdaugh does indeed get a new trial.
Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. Welcome to Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. This is a new channel brought to you by yours truly, Bullhorn Betty. And we had an opportunity to go out to the Alec Murdaugh new motion for new trial hearing, which was heard before a wonderful lady by the name of Judge Toll. She has an amazing record. She has an amazing resume. We talked about her in depth here on this channel about, in all fairness, I feel like all the judges have been ultra fair in this whole situation. I think we heard Judge Toll. She wasn't going to hear anything other than the jurors and Becky Hill. That all changed when Becky Hill took the stand yesterday. Every bit of it. All those additional witnesses that were called afterwards were not supposed to be called. They were there, but they were told they were not going to be called for that hearing until she heard what the jurors and Becky Hill had to say. So we're going to go into just that here in just a few moments. I want to say hi to everybody, but I also want to let you guys know this is not going to be the longest live because I've got to get out of this hotel room, okay? And I don't feel like them coming and dragging me out. So we're going to be a little, I don't know. I'm hopefully we'll have this down to less than an hour, about an hour or something like that. So good morning, Fender 420, Cool Gamer, Katrina, Bayou Babe, Colette, Alabama Mom of 4, Bayou Babe, True Crime Knitter, Emma, it's nice to see you, Rosie, Lori Lowe, JB's Mama, The Real Me Too, right behind me. Pebbles, good morning. Karma, it's nice to see you. Rachel, good morning. Guidance, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Sonia is up in the house. Tracy, Stevie's mom. And Sonia did send me a video on how to use the jacket. I haven't watched the video yet. I will be honest. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Josie Freeman, good morning. Reminding us, don't forget to go out there and hit that thumbs up button. You guys know this is a new channel. We've been growing like a weed. Over 3,000 people have signed up for this new channel, and we haven't even been alive for a full 60 days. So that is amazing. So thank you all that support this channel. Who else do we have up in the house? Who do we have? I think I said hi to Stevie's mom. I think I've said hi to everybody so far that I'm seeing. So I think we're at the end. November Rain, good morning. It's nice to see you. We always have a few that come in. It's me, Jen. Good morning, love. Good morning. Blue Victorian Beauty. Good morning, Coffee Club, she says. Well, good morning. It's me, Jen. Oh, I said that. Just Deb is who I think I missed. Don fam, nice to see you. Gigi for life, good morning. I think that might be it. If I missed you, I am sorry. Good morning, everyone. So we're kind of, oh, I see our resident defense attorney just needs a little bit of tears and a little bit of snot, and you're not guilty. Mike Stevens was the only person that was pro Alec Murdaugh through the trial. And I have to say, Mike made the trial worth watching. I shouldn't say that. We were going to watch anyways, right? We were going to watch anyways. So it's nice to see you all. Pete, it's nice to see you. So what happened when we got there? I got to tell you, at the beginning, I'm thinking, okay, this is great. You know, we heard from all the jurors at this point. The only people that said they may have heard, well, one absolutely adamantly, that was the deliberating jury body, which make me question how so limited people heard these utterances, these utterances. I digress. Oh, thank you. Mexico. I can't even speak this morning. It's nice to see you. Thank you for becoming a member. I don't know what member you are, but I got to tell you, I have a video coming out, and I was full-fledged bedhead Betty. Not a stitch of makeup light right in your eyes because I'm right by the window. It's coming out. It's you know, even in this hotel, it's crap Wi-Fi, so it's taking an hour to upload an 8-minute video. It'll come out. You guys will see it. Full-fledged Bullhorn Betty, or bedhead Betty, right? So anyways, we get there, and I was a little I was concerned, but I wasn't. I was a little upset because I felt like Juror Z wasn't being forthcoming and wasn't honest. I felt like she, out of everybody up there, you saw how quickly they answered. It was Juror Z that just kind of stumbled a little bit, there was one question that was asked that it was like dead silence in the courtroom. And it just sounded like it lasted for like a full minute or two, even though it probably was only a few seconds. But she paused. And I think it was the question, did Becky influence your verdict? And she paused. And it was like this, it's just a weird pause.
Oh.
Z?
Oh, yeah, she was.
But she had that. She asked her whether.
She looked like she was terrified too.
She looked like she was terrified. She maybe, but that could have been just because she was scared to go against the flow. You know, that can kind of the fear factor. But the crazy thing is that she took when the judge specifically asked her, "Did Becky influence your decision?" And she just paused.
Yeah, she paused for quite
a while.
Yeah.
And so it was just an odd pause, and she finally said yes. And so you could kind of hear the uneasiness in the pulpit, and maybe it wasn't even the pulpit; it might have been at the judge or the attorneys. I don't know. There was just a little. You can hear bodies adjusting in chairs and stuff, and it was a little shocking. And we're like, this is the first time we heard anybody say that was on the deliberating body say that they were influenced by Becky. So we all kind of just, our ears perked up, and we're like, and the audio inside that courtroom sucks. So I've already got hearing issues as is, right? So I'm sitting almost in the back, because the way it is you've got the courtroom, and you got the judge way back there, and then the first row is all the attorneys, and then that's right behind that is all the general audience members that are just there to preview this hearing, and then behind them is where the media was, and of course all the media. There was a lot of media, like the first 3 rows. So I was kind of in the 4th row back. It was just really hard to understand what they were saying. So I had to really pay attention, and I was trying to capture as much information, text, at least for the first half of it, as I could, primarily about the jurors and what their testimony was. When it got to Becky Hill, we had a break, we had our lunch break, and then I came out and talked to you guys, and we went through all of the information that we heard from the jurors. And it appears that Juror Z was the only person that Becky may have swayed on the jury. But then they read her affidavit into the record, where it specifically said she felt pressured from the jurors. And the judge asked her, is that more of a fair statement or a fair assessment of what truly happened? And Z said yes. So in the grand scheme of things, yeah, she wanted to blame Becky. For what reason, I don't know. But it was clear that it wasn't Becky that swayed her verdict. It was the other jurors in the juror room, in the jury box, that swayed her verdict. And that's the process it's supposed to be, the absolute process that it's supposed to be. So I don't think anybody was swayed by the conduct of Becky Hill. Now, you guys know, I was like, I didn't believe the affidavits when they first came back. I cautioned everybody to step back. Let's take a breather. Let's really digest what is being said in these affidavits that Dick and Jim had put into the public record. And we read them, and they were 4 jurors that weren't the deliberating jurors. One was the egg lady that was tossed off the jury. That came into question yesterday as well. But the affidavit said that everybody heard this. And that was one of the main things that I focused on when reading these affidavits, because I thought if everybody had heard this, that there would have been more affidavits as such, and there were not. And that cautioned me even further, and in my mind made the allegations more unbelievable. Then we fast forward to when Colt got arrested for the wiretap. And when he got arrested for that wiretap charge, that was the first time that I pulled the whole channel back and said, now this is not good. And there's no way. I know country boys, and I know a country boy ain't doing nothing without his mama's permission. Okay. I'm sorry. I know country boys well. Okay. Period. It just is what it is. Country boys they're roughnecks, but they are ooey gooey inside their mama's little boy. Okay. And no matter how you flip a coin, a boy and his mama, there's just something about a country boy and a country mama. Okay. I'm sorry. There just is. And I don't see Colton doing that without his mother's blessings. And I said as such immediately of finding of those things. And I further said that she would have had full communication with him during this process. And I believe that to be true. And then we heard that her phone was confiscated when they made the arrest of Colt. And I said, there you have it, guys, And when I heard that, because, I've been in the political realm for a really long time, and I know how cutthroat it is. And I know that I deal with a lot of issues in my own community, in my own county, with my county commissioners. I have a good handle on it. And I know the kinds of things that go on behind the scenes, because to be honest with you, I try to stop it in my own community as much as possible by advocating for certain causes and what have you. Well, here we're hearing that there is some type of political, Becky Hill is a voted official. So that means that she had to get the vote of the public and win that competition in order to be the clerk of Colton County. So she is an elected official. I have a huge problem because she's been in the courts. We found out that she had only been the clerk of the courts I knew she's been in the court system for a significant amount of time. I did know that, but I thought it was in an official capacity, in a voted capacity. I learned yesterday that wasn't the case. She's only been a clerk of the circuit court since 2020, I believe, but she has been a court reporter inside that courtroom for more than 10 years. I think she said 14 years or something to that effect. So she knows how this is done. She's seen this for many, many years. And then when we start hearing, because I talked about the process, if somebody does need the clerk, there is a process to speak directly with the clerk, and that's through the bailiff. The person goes up to the bailiff. So there's a reason why you have a 4-person that they kind of handle. They're the manager of the jury. Okay. So any problems that the jury has, they would address the 4-person, and then the 4-person, depending on what it is, would go and address the bailiff, and then the bailiff would go get the person that they need, whether it be the clerk or send them to the judge's chambers or whatever it may be. They decide what needs to happen. So there is a process that it goes through. It sounds like there was a process that went through. It does sound like Becky was summoned at least a couple times out to the jurors, to the 4-person. But there was some question about whether she had private communications with that 4-person. Outside that, if there's a situation on the jury that needs to be handled delicately, then yes, I would think that she would be want to remove that, so there's no conflict or anything like that, and just speak to the person. But typically the juror, any court official is not supposed to be speaking with any of these people by themselves. Like usually a bailiff or something else is present during these communications. There's always a record of it. So there were some things, that I felt that she lied about to the judge, belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball. She's looking at that judge and she told her a flat lie. I know it was a flat lie. There's no ifs, ands, or buts in my mind. You cannot sway me otherwise, because I trust and love Judge Newman. I think we've all just came to, like, he has a little, sweet spot in our heart. He was to me, a very good judge. He had a very difficult trial to manage, and I think he did it very well and did very professionally. I think the element of unprofessionality that came in from Becky Hill now. And I was a pro Becky Hill person. I didn't believe the stories that that she had said, that Alex's defense team was saying. I thought she handled herself professionally from everything I could see. But it's the stuff behind closed doors that we, the public, can't see. And that's where all these issues are raised in the behind the scenes conduct of the clerk. And there were several things that raised my eyebrows. That I know, I don't have, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a clerk. I do have a legal background. I worked for attorneys for, over a decade. And those are things I know better. You've got to keep it perfect. You got to make sure that there is not a slight of impropriety, even the appearance. And there's the appearance all over the place. Becky should never have helped, drove a juror home. I believe she did, because I believe the clerk of court that came in after her, the woman that wasn't supposed to take the stand, the judge wasn't going to allow her to take the stand. If Becky would have went on that stand and just told the judge the truth, guess what? The outcome would have been the same. And you know what? Me personally would have looked at Becky with a whole lot of respect and said, this is a lady that has nothing to hide. She put it all on the table. She was truthful. And this was the ending result. And even if she did get in some kind of, reprimand because of her conduct, then that's what she does. That's responsibility. It's her taking responsibility. One thing I can't stand about a politician more than anything in the world is when you make a mistake and you do not fess up to it and you do not take responsibility. That is an integrity issue for me. I can deal with a lot of stuff with my politicians, but I cannot deal with integrity issues with my politicians. That is a good way for you. I'm the kind of person, I want to know who you are when no one's looking. And I always seem to find, I'll find out the answer one way or another, right? I did. Miss Robin, our beautiful Miss Robin, blessing us with her presence. Hi, Love Bug. I hope everything is going well for you with all the exciting news that's nobody else's business. So I just want to tell that. And it says, Jen, she also seemed very angry and slighted that Becky said nobody wanted to talk to. Yeah, she did. Those jurors, they had a chip on their shoulders. I truly believe the two that proffered those affidavits to Dick, they both appeared they had a chip on their shoulder. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, that in my mind either. But the bottom line is I didn't believe them at first. Okay, period. I respect, you guys know how I feel about Dick and Jim. I hate their client, but I think that they have a wealth of education and information and thinking outside of the box. And look at the case. It's not like Alec made this case easy on these guys, right? They have, in my opinion, well, you know what? I can say it now. I can say it officially. He's guilty. He's been found guilty in a court of law. So they have this murderous client that happened to be a good, for all intents and purposes, at least the facade appeared to be a good Southern lawyer. But he turned out to be something. All right, he turned out to be something. But they took this case and they were able to build a good defense. Okay. And not only were they able to build a good defense, nobody believed them about this Becky Hill nonsense. I can tell you, I didn't believe them. I started becoming, I was never on the fence until Colt was arrested for wiretap. And then that put me right on the fence. Right from that point on, I was on the fence. I wanted to hear what Becky had to say. I heard what Becky had to say. I do believe the majority of Becky's statements. I believe that literally the first half of her testimony, she seemed more relaxed. Her answers were properly, I look at how long it takes somebody to answer questions naturally. I look at everything, right? I look at the body language if I can see it. Back, I'm trying, folks, right? I had glasses on and everything. So, but I could clearly tell immediately when she was lying, and that judge gave her so many opportunities to come clean and kept asking her, you sure you didn't talk to her? Are you sure you didn't talk to her? If Becky would have just said, yes, I accidentally talked to her, I didn't mean to. She was upset. She was nervous. And I let it get the best of me. I spoke to her. Okay. If she would have just said that, the judge would have believed everything Becky said. They wouldn't have called any other witness. Period. But see, the problem is Becky lied. The judge knew she lied. And now the judge is pissed off. And now she has to open this court up to additional witnesses to rebut Becky Hill. Becky Hill would she have gotten in trouble? I don't know behind the scenes if she would have gotten in trouble for this. Maybe there are some repercussions for her actions, which are well-deserved, by the way. But I still think honesty in this situation was the best policy. She didn't do anything that would sway the jury. She should have said so. But what she did by lying to that judge, we all knew she lied because let's face it, I trust Judge Newman. Out of all of this, I trust Judge Newman. And Judge Newman put this in the record. Judge Newman did his job and he put this in the record. And then when Judge asked her about it, she knew she had done it. She knew that it was questioned in the trial. And she looked at that judge that has seen people come before her many times and lie to her face. Okay. A lot of people think this is their judge's first rodeo. It's not. Don't lie to a judge. They trust me. Out of any body reader in the world, I don't care about these body language experts. You want a body language expert, you go ask a judge. Okay. They've seen it all. And I mean, they have seen it all. And so she knew. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Did Becky Hill lie to the judge? Yes, she did. And the question is, why would you lie to a judge if you have nothing to hide? I'm highly upset about this. We were this close to Alec having a new trial, and he still may be, because her ruling is not final yet. I believe her ruling is a sound ruling. I believe that that's going to be the ultimate ruling. I know I did some preliminary research on this specific matter, and it does appear that there has to be an influence that happens in order for that new trial, not just an utterance, not just even if her intent was to sway the jury. The question is, did she? And I have researched it, and it doesn't seem like this is going to rise. I think by the time this is all said and done, Alec is still going to be, he's not going to get a new trial. Now they're going to go to the appellate process, which we anticipated even before he was convicted. We know that he's going to have the next, 20, 30 years of appeals. It goes on with any case like this. My prediction is I don't think, unless the courts assign Dick and Jim to him permanently, I have a funny feeling once the money has run out, they're going to be off the case. They're not going to work for free. They've done a lot for their friend. They've saved his life. I'm going to tell you that. I truly believe if it wasn't for Dick and Jim, I think it's South Carolina does have the death penalty, right? Let me just make sure. South Carolina death penalty. I know we looked at this, a year ago. electric chair as a default method. Yeah, so it appears that they do have. So, you know, to be honest with you, Dick and Jim saved that man's life. They did. Even if he's in that jail for the rest of his life, they saved his life. And I hope Alec does appreciate them for that, because I'm telling you, with a case like this, it could have gone so many different ways, literally so many different ways. So that's really it. I've got some videos coming out. I got some good content. Did you guys see the photos? We got some photos. I'm sorry, but there's a, I'll let you guys watch this because it's taking forever to load, and I do have it on my own phone. So I wanted you guys to see it. It's 8 minutes. So I'm going to, actually, you know what? Let me get my.
I sent the photos to Jen last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she texted to see how we were.
Where's my, please don't tell me I put that stand, that tripod back in this backpack. Did I? All right. Well, I don't have the tripod stand, guys, so you're going to have to just watch it from here. I'm going to have to hold it, which is going to suck, right? It's going to suck. Okay.
Good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. Happy Tuesday. As you can tell,
Full Bullhorn Betty, Bedhead Betty.
a little late. This morning, I got to tell you, I was so exhausted from yesterday at the Alec Murdaugh hearing. It was a lot of unexpected twists and turns. I will be honest with you. We all watched it. I'm kind of like with no words. Like I really didn't. I'm so thankful that her utterances and things that she did really wasn't putting her hands on the scales of justice, in my opinion. I don't think that
I'm trying to get the thing
did
right.
anything that swayed the jury in any way. I don't think she went into that jury box during deliberations. I don't think those things were happening. And those are really what you kind of need to show that she was, you know, swaying the jury. I think her utterances were so minor and taken out of context so much that it did prove to be problematic. Some of her conduct was questionable. I will tell you, even though her conduct did not sway the jury in any way, it's still conduct unbecoming of a court clerk. I'll leave it at that. I was very shocked. I think the most disheartening thing for me personally, when it came to this whole entire hearing, was the fact that Becky Hill lied to the judge. And if you know anything about me, I like truth. I think she should have just been honest. I think honesty when you're dealing with attorneys and judges are always the best path forward. Because once you are known to lie to a judge, and this is a public trial, you're kind of almost scarlet lettered in the courts. Like, they now know that you're willing to lie to a judge. Everything you say from this point forward has to be questioned now, right? Because you've lied before, you could lie again. Your word is no longer has value. You devalued yourself. And I felt like she devalued herself, and it was so unnecessary, because in this case, even if she was honest, it wouldn't have rose, in my opinion, to the level to have him have a new trial, even with her being honest. Obviously, she wasn't honest. The judge felt that she wasn't honest and used that, but it was just an embarrassment moment in my opinion, for Becky Hill. And I just,
Sorry, guys.
honesty is the best policy, and it's just like,
Sorry, I got to get this. Of course, I hit the wrong side. I'm going to get this off onto Do Not Disturb so you guys can finish watching it. Sorry.
damn, here we are. And she lied. Everybody knows she lied. Again, thank goodness for Judge Newman. Judge Newman realized there was an issue. He raised the issue. It was put on the record. The issue was raised and on the record. And on the record, he even questioned her about questioning the juror. So obviously, in and around the time this happened, it was well known that she spoke to that juror. Yet when she was up on the witness stand in this motion for new trial, she adamantly denied it to Judge Toll, looking her eyeball to eyeball. I was just like sitting in the pulpit and I'm just shaking my head. It was heartbreaking. I don't know how else to explain it. Just utter heartbreak. But we had an opportunity to ask some questions to the attorneys. Here are some of the responses.
We don't get a statement. We just heard the whole thing.
What's your next step aside from appealing to the state supreme or to the appellate court?
One of the things that was very heartening today.
Sorry, I lose the camera, but it's still a good. You got to listen to the audio.
Found Becky Hill to be a liar. Okay, that's number one, which means we met our factual burden. Two, she made it very clear.
Sorry, guys, I'm going back to it.
So the facts are set. Becky Hill not credible. The judge found, in fact, that the statements were made to the jurors. She just found that we couldn't show prejudice, but conceded that we may not have to show that if she's wrong about the law and the law's on set.
So Becky being not credible if she's wrong helps you at the next appellate level or maybe the Supreme Court or the federal level?
Next level. Next we go from here to the Court of Appeals, and then the Supreme Court is next, our South Carolina Supreme Court, and then the federal court.
I have to be honest with you. I didn't really believe the whole story with Becky Hill until today's testimony. And I have to tell you, it did sway me quite a bit, because I didn't believe it. Explain to us how you found out this information.
We're glad you're being honest today.
I'm honest every day, Jim.
About to talk to the jurors. You heard the alternate testify today, and honestly, that was really the first one-on-one interview that we were able to get. We had gotten some indications from lawyers who represented some other jurors that we needed to go down this road. And when we finally met with her as she's cooking Sunday dinner in her home down a dirt road, she told us things that were jaw-dropping. So that's how we found out. And we wrote down a lot of her reviews.
You have verdicts that go in perpetuity, and jurors can constantly say, well, this was my verdict then, but today it's different. You vote once in time. And I think Justice Cole believed that the verdict was the product of free negotiations. Yes, inside a jury room, it's tense. You often hear that there's arguments one way or the other, but she did not feel that this verdict was the result of anything that Becky Hill had said or did or any other court officer. And so, this is the verdict that we have. Our state supports this verdict. We saw how hard the state fought to keep this verdict, and we cannot continue to have trials go over and over again when you have jurors that hear evidence over 6.5 weeks, over 70 witnesses, over 400 pieces of evidence, get the instructions from the judge, give their time, are smart, bright people who come with their God-given common sense, render a verdict, and then are polled and raise their hand and say, this was my verdict. So,
well, here we have an issue of, as a legal professional that I once was, I have a problem with some of the things that we heard Becky say. I'm thankful that it didn't sway the jury. But we have to be...
I have a great problem with the things that Becky has said. And it's clear that there was some inconsistencies regarding whether she rode with a juror, what was said, what was heard. And I think Justice Toll let the public know and let Becky know exactly what she thought of some of her testimony. And I don't think we've heard the end from Becky, and that she may have to answer for some of the things. I think Justice Toll gave a foreshadowing of what may be coming to Becky.
Yeah.
So we didn't hear from Creighton Waters, but we did hear from Jim, Dick, and Eric about the ruling yesterday from the judge. It is clear that there were some improprieties on behalf of Becky Hill.
Now, if we could get some decent Wi-Fi at these hotels in the near future, I would have been able to do that without holding it for 8 solid minutes. Okay. So if you guys got like, seasickness this morning, you can't blame Bullhorn Betty. Okay. It is the product of internet. All right, guys, I've got 30 minutes to get packed up and get up out of this hotel room. I've got a long day. We're going to be going out and kind of every time I come to South Carolina, I go by, the normal spots just to show my respects to Stephen Smith, to Mallory Beach, and of course to Paul and Maggie as we capture some more content of how things are today. We'll catalog all this stuff, and at some later time, we'll pack it all together and make a beautiful documentary out of the work that we did on these multiple trips out here. We're going to be going to Tennessee next. Layla Santinello. She still hasn't been found. Holland still hasn't been found. Summer Wells hasn't been found. Oh, that's right, Jen. Thank you. Guys, if you just received your gifted membership, your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, there's 2 of them here. So there's 2 lucky people up in the chat today. If you received your gift Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories membership, Lord have mercy, that's a mouthful, right? Don't forget to tell it's me, Jen. Thank you. As always, Jen, thank you so much for your love and support, along with Miss Robin. Thank you. So, guys, I'm going to get on the road. We got a long day today. We have a lot of work. I've been last night was like the first night I got sleep. I was so freaking exhausted. Karen is my witness. I was out like at 6:30. I didn't wake up this morning until 3 a.m. I did a little bit of work and I fell back asleep. I didn't wake up until 7:30. Okay. Like my butt was exhausted. So today I'm going to be doing a lot of driving, a lot of documentation, just capturing. And then tonight when I get settled in somewhere, I will go live and let you guys know how the day is. Stay tuned. Don't forget to put your notifications on all, because if I'm driving and I can go live and take you guys on this trip when we get to Colton County, I will. Okay. So take care. God bless, and rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, we want you all to be safe and, of course, kind to one another. You can make a difference in somebody's life. We always try to inspire before we expire. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.